Hello again, it's your friendly neighborhood host, JT Wheatley, back for another episode of the History Comics Podcast. This time, another edition of the classics, and of course, continuing the tradition of the Tick and all its adaptations, with the 2001 Tick live-action sitcom series, starring Patrick Warburton in the title role, with David Burke playing Arthur, Liz Vassy playing American, well, actually not American-made, but Captain Liberty, because they decided to be a little more PC when they did this adaptation, and most importantly, Mr. Carbonell as Batman. Well, this was a hilarious and more adult version of The Tick that, as Ben Edwin always states, every adaptation of The Tick is to reflect the comic book and superhero genre of the time. And this one was more in line of where superhero movies were coming from, where those current Spider-Man and X-Men shows, where they were getting more mature and adult-oriented in the live-action format. And yeah, the humor just worked really well. Sadly, this show did not catch on, even though Barry Sonnenfeld, who executive produced the show and directed the pilot, still credits the pilot as one of the best things he's ever directed, and when you watch it, it's hilarious and perfect entry in the whole show. Once again, carry on the whole thing where the Tick just shows up out of nowhere, has no memory of his past, starts fighting crime, is a complete dimwit, brilliantly played by Patrick Warburton, who both his physique, his size, and his deadpan delivery make for a perfect version of the Tick. You just just the image of him in that blue Tick outfit is off out of life funny. And he's matched perfectly with the rest of the cast. Of course, as I pointed out, Nestor Carbonell as Batman was hilarious as a kind of a Hispanic Batman who's very vain but has a thing for Captain Liberty. You just love every bit of it, and that's why if you see The Dark Knight, you know as Nestor Carbonell is playing the mayor in that movie, everyone can go, it's Batman Will in a Batman movie. That's the reason why. And of course, like I said, this series is more adult, so they get to play with more adult things, such as Captain Liberty deciding to have a one-night stand with a popular mainstream superhero, only for him to inadvertently have a heart attack, and then the Tick and the rest of her friends have to find a way to hide his body so she doesn't get implicated in his apparent death, which is one of the funniest things you'll ever see. Just the image of them throwing around a dead body throughout the city is what I've never laughed so hard in my entire life. It's just it's a classic episode from beginning to end, and this show, perfection. It's like I said, this 9 episodes, much too short, but the 9 episodes you can get, which last I checked, you can find on Amazon Prime, who didn't make the later series in 2019, but just a fun series from beginning to end. Watch it. Yeah, it's a quick watch if you can binge it, and one of the funniest and best adaptations of a superhero comic book ever.
Than a New Day pancake. More fun than a super kick party. It's the wrestling podcast from the host, who is the hammer swinging, burrito eating, well, you know the rest, of Thunder Talk. Sexy Thor. It's the Ring of Thunder, found in the Thunderverse and among the great podcasts of the ESO network.
Now is April 27th, 2023, time for the favorite comic of the week. Collaborating Time, number 2 by Steve Skroce, which is another great little team-up for Ben Grimm / The Thing, as he goes to give a guest lecture at Krakoa, where most of the mutants in the Marvel universe are living right now, only to be inadvertently canceled during his lecture, and then he finds himself with teaming up with Wolverine on a crazy adventure. Just a lot of fun, like the first issue this time with him and Wolverine pairing off. And the first part is absolutely hilarious as he tries to give a lecture about being superpowered and what it's like living as a Thing, only to be saying, oh, you don't know what it's like actually growing up as a mutant. You were a human originally. And it's great comparison to how people get canceled today in modern culture. It's done in perfect superhero fashion. And then he mixes it in with Wolverine and his team up and how Steve Skroce just has Wolverine just get the crap beat out of him most of the issue because, hey, he can take it. And it's matched by Skroce's gorgeous art, which is nicely detailed and kind of gruesome at times. Like the revelation that the Thing is basically a giant rock scab is pretty brutal, but works great for the comic. And just a great fun read in general. It's just been a great little fun Marvel team-up book that I hope to continue more. Which apparently this is going to be the idea that it's going to be each issue is going to be him teaming with someone new. So I can't wait to see who he teams up with next. Who apparently this next issue will actually be Doctor Strange. So. And with that, we'll conclude with this episode of the Classics. Join me again next week, which was probably going to be my concluding edition on the Tick series. And until then, go out and enjoy yourself a good comic book. And if you can, check out The Tick, which actually is on Crackle. the free streaming service, because that is a true classic superhero show.